So as it stands so far, we've spent £4 to make $28. So far, this is looking really good. In my last video, I showed you how I'm producing info products using AI and ChatGPT. So Claude for actual written content, taking my video transcript, turning it into something much bigger, more detailed, and then using ChatGPT's new image functionality to make really good product mockups. But this is where most people get stuck with AI. It's a nice shiny object, and you say, oh, look at me, I've created this thing, but nothing's going to change until you actually start selling. So I've already been going through with ChatGPT once I've created the mockup, then saying we want to create Facebook ads. And again, with ChatGPT's latest update, Facebook ads are now on easy mode. Just one more thing before we go on. By the end of this video, you're going to see my full process for creating products, creating sales pages, and effective sales funnels, and then marketing them with extremely powerful AI Facebook ads, which have been successful already within 1 hour of actually launching the product. But before we go on, don't get left behind. Click the link below and download my 30-minute Infopreneur book. And this is like a live case study in action. This was the beta test of the concept I'm going to show you today, where by taking your knowledge base of video transcripts and archives, everything you've done, packaging it into a book, creating a mock-up, and then turning that into a really good sales page, you can create these low-ticket, profitable digital products very quickly and easily. So sign up there and download the book. I've already got a load of updates to make to the book, but the fact is, if you're on this list, then I'm going to keep you abreast with all the latest developments in this new process, because this whole thing is just days old, and already marketers are starting to wake up to the fact that Facebook ads and funnels have changed forever. In the last few weeks, I've made great strides by using Claude to design killer landing pages, but ChatGPT's latest image update just a couple of days ago has just unlocked the world of product mockups and Facebook ads in a way that we've never seen before. I think what we're going to see with this adoption is an increasingly widening gap. Most people don't do Facebook ads. They don't have any idea about Facebook ads. But those who do know about Facebook ads are going to be able to iterate and test faster and faster to become even more effective and more profitable. So I'm already nervous about this. This is why I'm digging in, trying to master it now and get ahead of the curve, and I encourage you to do the same. So get on the list and I'll share all the updates with you. Because we already know that Facebook's really good now at actually finding you your ideal buyers, especially if you can give it lots of data about your previous conversions. But you do need to keep refreshing and testing your creatives, as in the actual images you use. Because even if you find one that works, they do tend to fatigue and get tired over time. So it's actually quite a lot of work to keep them fresh and keep on testing other variations. So you can absolutely do it with Canva, but I'm actually really enjoying the fact I can now just say, give me a Facebook ad, and ChatGPT is doing a pretty good job. This seems quite common, cutting off the text at the top, but I'm not too worried. So with a bit of iteration, we've been starting to get some pretty good results. And again, the idea is this. We want to take our digital product with the mockup we've created, charge $7 for it, but then in the sales funnel we'll have a load of other low-ticket upsells so that we can turn that $7 initial sale into hopefully more like $30, $40, $50, and therefore pay for the Facebook ad and the acquisition of that lead. Now the aim is not to be profitable on the ads, but to simply break even so we can build a really big email list of actual buyers, people who've got their wallet out and bought stuff from us, and are therefore much more likely to buy other stuff, much more high-ticket stuff, from our offers. This one came out a bit scary, so you can see ChatGPT generally is doing a really good job of the ads. There's just occasional slip-ups there. This one I quite like. Again, I appear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Overall, not too bad, but they did get better. And don't forget, even if they are a bit scary like this, you're probably more likely to stop the scroll like that. People do talk about Facebook as being all about interruption. How can you get someone to really stop and take notice of your ad? But once I took myself out, generally I say Facebook ads perform better if you do have a person in them because it's a social platform. But actually, yeah, if I take myself out, these ads are starting to look much better. And then I say give me more distinct variations, so we're able to test a lot more different styles without having to do a whole lot of work. So at this stage, this is quite experimental, but if I just upload all these ads into Facebook Ad Manager, hopefully we can find some winners. The question is, are we actually better off doing it with AI like this, or should we go back to classic Canva? So let's just request a new one and say and another, just to see how replicable these are, or are we going to get further and further from sanity here? So what I'm really looking to do here is upload something like 40, 50 different ad variations, making sure they're all pretty distinct, because we've got no idea, is a yellow background going to help us? Do we want a mock-up? Do we want a face instead? Interestingly, ChatGPT's got a lot slower with this since yesterday when this update first came out. So I feel like more people are jumping on the bandwagon. Now, while we wait for that to finish, I'll show you how I'm actually setting up this product. So Thrivecart, I really like it. It's a bit old-fashioned now. Lots of people moving over to platforms like Go High Level, but Thrivecart is a nice lifetime deal. I'll leave a link below, because when I first got into courses, it was still very much an experiment, and I didn't want to be locked into some sort of $50, $70 a month recurring subscription cost. So it's a solid platform, it's got a really good reputation in the industry, and it has a lifetime deal. So once you've paid that initial fee, it's all margin. So what we're doing, price, I've set up a price of $7. It handles all the taxes for you. Order bump we probably will do, so that's basically like a little upsell on the actual checkout form. So you put in your credit card details, but just before you click buy, there's this other little bonus there, normally sort of flashing and attention grabbing, and it's normally quite a small additional fee. So if you're selling a course for $97, your order bump might be $20 to $30. But statistics show 30% of people tend to tick that box, because it's all about positioning. If you're already spending $100, then an extra $20 is nothing. But potentially that order bump could have paid for your ad spend and now gives you a lot more margin. So we'll come back to that. Then processors, good to have PayPal and Stripe. And you can use affiliates. I wouldn't worry too much with a lead magnet. But if you get some good affiliates, then obviously they can earn a commission not just on the front end, but also the back end offers we're going to be providing. So next we go to fulfillment. Now, I use Thrivecart for courses where you can add them to my membership site, but in this case, we're just selling that simple download. So again, for now, we're just going to use a simple Google Doc. The whole point with this whole AI funnel I'm doing is it's all about testing. I'm not saying that the AI ebook is perfect or the AI landing pages I'm building are perfect or the Facebook ads are perfect. But the fact is I am now able to test so many more products, so many more angles, different creatives, that we're going to get to valid data much faster. Think of how many projects in your business you just sat on for weeks and weeks and never got round to, and then you started testing and it turned out you wish you'd done this 2 years ago. That's exactly what happened to me with YouTube. I hesitated for so long with YouTube. I was still employed when I first started thinking about doing SEO YouTube, but I didn't actually start until I'd had an agency for about 18 months or so. Now, of course, I'm wishing I got started so much sooner. So this is the value of the AIs. They're not a perfect replacement for human work, but they just speed everything up so much. Now we get to the fun bit. We're going to launch the editor. Now, generally, I like to build my actual landing pages still on Elementor and by using the Claude trick I showed you, where Claude can code you the HTML that you then paste into Elementor. But then for the actual checkout, I like to use Thrivecart. So the button on Elementor then goes to this Thrivecart page. So for that reason, I don't turn this into a full landing page. It's just a simple checkout, but I'll typically include some additional bullet points here just to really seal the deal on why they should buy this. So we can select checkbox, make that nice and green. I like to make the text around 20 generally. And again, just because I'm being lazy, I'm going to use Claude. As a copywriter, list me some bullet point benefits of my guide for the sales cart checkout. Because remember, everything we're doing here, it needs to be outcome, benefit, not what's in the guide, it's what you'll achieve with the guide. And it's done a good job. So at this stage, this person's already clicked buy now. They're already pretty much the deal is done. So we really want to go hard now. This is the right choice for you. And just pick a few of these, 2025, keep it fresh, keep it relevant. There's a saying in copywriting circles that new is always better, and let's just bold some of these. Let's do, we'll be consistent and just do the headlines as bold. Okay, so that's pretty much it. But now this is where the magic really happens, because this is just cart page 1. We're now going to add a funnel item. So here we can now select an upsell, and I've actually already got a load of upsells I've used before. So in this case, we select design a page with Thrivecart. Now Thrivecart's already a pretty good drag and drop builder, so you can easily see how you can build this upsell quite happily. Now, the important thing about this is a one-click upsell. They've already put in the credit card details. So at this stage, this is the perfect time. All they need to do is hit this button and that gets immediately added to their order. And that's why this is so powerful. So we want to hit them with a discount. We want a really valuable product that we can really heavily discount because they've already given us money. So at this point, this is like free money. because hopefully that $7 has gone a long way to covering our ad cost. So here, because they're a buyer, we can offer a really aggressive discount as long as they take action right now. So in this case, I'm just going to go and copy a design from another offer page, because I can go and simply grab this offer I've used before. So I've already recorded a video that really helps with one-time offers. And again, we're explaining the clear value proposition of this offer. And now we can add another funnel item. And what I'm actually going to do is turn a lot of the videos I've already done on link building, put them all into a course, and then that'll be a nice low ticket course upsell. So once they've paid the $7 for the ebook, then they get the offer. I'm not sure if I'm going to go with 27 or 97, we can test, but basically get a comprehensive video course. Because remember, once someone's already committed to the $7, they're already in the buying mood, they've already put their credit card details in, that is the easiest time to sell to them. And it's your best chance to make your ad spend back, so you're then getting that qualified lead for free. Okay, I've been working really intensely on this over the last 24 hours, but this is really transformative. So I've been basically taking my initial draft in Elementor, but meanwhile, I've gone into Claude and actually given it a top performing funnel page. So in this case, I've just taken 2 Hour Agency, and there's a lot on this page, but this has all been tested and refined. This is a top performing sales page. So I took all that source code, put it into Claude to train it, and then I gave Claude my source code so that Claude can come back and actually improve it in line with those best practices. And so the result is now I've got a really good sales page for my link building Bible. So it did take a bit of tweaking, but even so, going back and forth with Claude, much easier than if I were to actually drag and drop all of this from scratch. And like I say, somehow, despite being quite creative, despite studying history of art, I am terrible at web design. So this is much nicer. And already I've been going through my full stack of lead magnets, improving all of those with the same process. So this is my YouTube book. This now looks much better. If I go into my Elementor history to just this morning, last edited 6 months ago, you'll see what it looked like before. And yeah, it was okay, but not great normally, because I don't put in the time to actually turning even these free products into more long form pages. But remember, it takes the same amount of effort to sell an expensive product as a free product. So even the free product needs to be properly sold to maximize that conversion rate. So you get the idea there. Now, meanwhile, our funnel is coming together in Thrivecart. So the initial checkout looks pretty good, but then it's all about the upsells. Now, unfortunately, it was quite difficult to actually automate this with Claude. I was still using Claude to actually just feed back on my design in comparison with templates from my swipe file of top performing examples. But then it was much more of a manual drag and drop process because Thrivecart doesn't allow me to do the custom HTML. But I've gone through my archive, I've pulled together loads of videos on link building and put that into a link building course, keeping it fairly low ticket at $47. But the point is, if someone buys the ebook, the order bump, and then this upsell, that should easily cover the ad cost. I've also recorded a little video there to better sell that upsell. And then after that, we have another upsell. This one I haven't improved yet, but you get the idea. It's very much what was just there before. So next we're ready to get started on the ads, because it's so easy to put all this time and effort into building a funnel and then never actually promoting it. So I've been going back and forth with ChatGPT. Obviously we started off with the link toxicity screening guide, but now I've pivoted. I've realized that's just the order bump. That's like its own little upsell. We want to go hard with just the link building Bible. It's got more mainstream appeal. So this is actually a really good one. Tired of link building that doesn't work? Get the proven system for ranking in 2025, link building Bible. So again, I'm just saying to Claude, once it gets the idea about what we actually want, this one was a bit wordy, but I really liked the mock-up there, but then finally got it. So let's stick with a square ad, think like a pro copywriter, keep text minimal. Then this one's really good. So again, excellent. Give me another unique variation to test. So I'm just going to grab a load of these. I also try and keep my own personal swipe file of Facebook ads that I really like, just screenshotting when I see them. You can use Facebook Ads Library to get more of an overview. So just today I saw this one from Neil Shoney, who's a big ads guy. Really like the way he's got this ChatGPT window saying, where can I get step-by-step ad templates that works? And recommending his product. And I've seen a similar one with Apple Notes. So people making the Facebook ad look like a note to self Apple Note. So in the past I've designed that myself, but I reckon ChatGPT can now do that itself very easily. Very lazy getting ChatGPT to design an image that looks like ChatGPT, but why not? It's already got all the data about what we're actually looking to achieve. So while that's loading, we can set up our campaign. We just want sales. I know in the past people talked about warming up your Facebook ad audience. starting off with traffic and then switching it over to sales. But generally I say keep it painful at the beginning. Facebook's so good at identifying your ideal audience, so as long as you've got your pixel tracking set up, once you get a few sales coming in, it's going to know exactly who your audience are. And crucially, we want to optimize for buyers, not just browsers. So as soon as you're optimizing for traffic or anything else, it's not the same KPI. So this one is link building Bible, no special categories. Daily budget, around $20 a day should be a good start. Some people start at $5, but personally I think you don't want to hang around too long. We want to get some results, get some data. So I'd rather spend more in a shorter time. £20 is fine. Don't do £100 a day, $100 a day straight out the gate because you don't have enough data yet. Don't forget, Facebook does actually use the history of your ad account in terms of identifying your audience. So I've already run a lot of ads for my agency. So my ad account and pixel is already quite dialed in terms of who's actually interested in SEO. Whereas if you're starting with a fresh ad account, you might want to zoom out a bit and just take your time a bit more. Now again, I'm not a Facebook ads expert. Different people recommend different ways of how you structure your campaigns and your ad sets. But for now, I just want to dump in a load of ads and see what performs. I want to find out, are we just barking up the wrong tree with this link building Bible? Do people even care? So maximize conversions, data set. We want our pixel. Conversion event is purchase. Otherwise, we're going to be optimizing for browsers, not buyers. We can start straight away. I don't like targeting the United Kingdom anyway. For this, it's okay. I think for now, I'll just go with United Kingdom, States, Canada, Australia. But then once we get some data in, I'll probably broaden it out. So keeping this targeting super wide. And the URL is our landing page. So this is the sales page. I've got my pixel on both WordPress, where the sales page is, and also on Thrivecart itself. So website URL took us straight to the sales page. Now set up creative. So here I just want to add in everything I've been generating, which so far isn't that many, so we need to get some more variations. I like it. So ChatGPT is getting into a good habit now. I think that multiple variations to test prompt is really helping. Let's try the ChatGPT one. Let's see how that goes. And just while we're waiting for those ads to generate, I'm actually just going through and grabbing all of these, because even though I prefer this one and don't really like this one, we might as well test it. The algorithm should filter it out pretty quickly if it doesn't perform. But who knows, maybe people take this more business-like one more seriously. We don't know. So just like SEO, challenge your assumptions. Okay, so a pretty good job. I was a bit worried that it might include some of the surrounding Facebook text, but that's quite funny, Stuart, because how can I build powerful backlinks in 2025? For a proven approach, I recommend the book, The Link Building Bible 2025 edition. It covers exact, up-to-date strategies for effective link building. Give me another in the style Apple Notes. This one I can't really use the full thing, so I'm just going to screenshot the ChatGPT part. So already you can see just how rapidly we're getting so many ad variations, rather than having to go into Canva or even actually use these apps and take a screen. The Post-it note is another popular one. Now for the longer form ad text, of course we're using Claude. Generally, I find Claude is a better copywriter than ChatGPT, and yeah, this looks pretty good. And again, all of this is based on all the videos and training data I've given it. So it's really very low on the hallucinations. So just paste that in there. It's spaced out a bit better. Now I can use Facebook's own AI to generate more variations, although I find they're kind of the same anyway. Yeah, these aren't that different. That's fine, we'll come back to that. And again, Facebook's AI is providing its own image variations, which, as it's just a mock-up, why not? I don't think it's going to be particularly helpful, but worth trying. Now, I'm pretty sure before I used to just be able to dump a load of images into a single ad. Probably not optimal, especially not for monitoring, but it doesn't look like I can do that anyway, so I'm just going to quickly duplicate this, and now we start again with a new image. So this time let's go with master link building once and for all. Most of these aren't very good, so just skip that. Well, this is pretty crazy. So the ads are live. I've steadily been adding more into the mix just to get all those variations in there. But I was actually just checking in on Stripe and I made £22. Now, none of my courses are that cheap. That can only be the ebook. So I checked in on Thrivecart and here it says $14. So that was just one person buying the ebook and then buying the order bump. But in Stripe, there are actually two of those transactions we can see there, the 14 and the 14. So I think one just hasn't come through on Thrivecart yet. Once you've got all those different order bumps and ups, you're kind of in this grey area where different systems might not fully recognise the transaction yet. But I'm sure if we refresh this over time, then we should see that update in Thrivecart. So this is obviously great news, but it does mean I actually need to go and finish that funnel. It was only an hour or two ago I realised the ads are live and yet still left the payments in test mode. Now I need to go and make sure, there we go, that's come back up to 28 now. So the ads have only been live for a couple of hours, we're already up to $28, and the budget is only £20 per day. So actually, it looks like we're going to break even. Now, Facebook is very good at helping you break even early on in the Facebook ad campaign because there's a lot of low-hanging fruit there. And unfortunately, you do tend to run out of that low-hanging fruit. So you do tend to notice in the first week or two, the ads perform really well. And you think, this is easy, I'm going to scale this, great ROAS. And then what you find is you run out of those easy buyers, and you've got to work a little harder to find, or Facebook's got to work a little harder to find truly profitable buyers. But this is a really good sign. Now, the attribution won't be showing in Ads Manager yet, but if I just refresh this, we can get an idea of roughly what was spent. In fact, there we go, we do have a conversion registering, so that's just one of them, but that's saying £1.57 per purchase. And then in total, we've spent $3.92. That's because we're counting both the order bump and the ebook as separate sales, separate purchase events. So for that reason, one sale has turned into two, and that's fine. I want that. Thrivecart does let you disable that, but if someone goes through and buys more stuff, I want to give more attribution to those kinds of clients so that Facebook goes out and finds more of those kinds of customers. So as it stands so far, we've spent £4 to make $28. So these numbers are a bit too small to care about in the real world, but just for academic purposes, that's about £22, which we've made for just £4 of spend. So far, this is looking really good, to the extent that, as I say, I need to go in and actually make sure everything's functioning correctly. So are those Google Docs easily available? Otherwise, I'm going to go to bed and wake up to a load of support requests. And I know for a fact that if I go to edit funnel, I hadn't actually finished the completed transaction page yet. So if I go to the success page here, we can see it's all lorem ipsum. So I've got to fix that now because we're in the fantastic situation of getting a load of sales we weren't even expecting yet. Right, the funnel is all tidied up and delivery is sorted. You might be thinking, what a charlatan, why are you selling products that aren't even finished yet? But I'm afraid it's absolutely necessary, everyone does it. The fact is, the vast majority of things you try as an entrepreneur just bomb. They fail. And yet so many people I see trying to get into entrepreneurship, they'll spend weeks and weeks and months refining and thinking and planning, trying to make sure everything is perfectly done right. But you don't know if you're optimizing for the right thing, because most of the time you're going to be wrong. You've got your target here, and you're planning everything in line with that target, and it might just be the wrong target. So unfortunately, you've got to move fast and break stuff. If you want to make an omelette, you've got to break some eggs. If you're watching this now and you did buy the Link Building Bible, then please reach out. We'll get you the correct links if you didn't receive them, or a refund if you'd prefer. But honestly, 10 years of entrepreneurship, my ultimate advice, just keep on testing, move quickly. If you get it wrong, then own it, apologize, and do what you can to fix it. But you're so much better off doing that than just hesitating on the fence, waiting forever to launch something that might not even work out. So now with that, we have proof of concept. People are buying, so I just want loads more ad creatives. And this is the real magic of the new ChatGPT, that I've been collecting a swipe file. Every now and then I'll come across a really good ad, I'll screenshot it, and I always mean to actually test it and implement it, but that still means going into Canva and playing around with images. Whereas now, I just go into ChatGPT and I immediately get what I want. So note to self, get the Link Building Bible. Then I did another one focused more on the outcome, so rank higher on Google without spending a fortune. I tried to get myself back into it, that went badly wrong. So again, I should probably test it, because maybe this horrible creation here might actually get more clicks. But anyway, then I went down a rabbit hole of doing action figures. People do say if you create a little e-com product for your Facebook ad, that can get a lot of attention. This was all quite good fun. So the fact is, I was just sat on the sofa Friday night watching White Lotus, and I was just on my phone giving it another prompt and then leaving it for a few minutes to actually go away and do that image, and just did this on repeat until I then had about 20 really good ad creatives. I did a Warhammer 40k metal model of myself, SEO Inquisitor. I asked for Michelangelo's Pieta. I quite like that one. Maybe a bit too far, a bit controversial. Then I wanted the ultimate guru shot, photorealistic with a Lambo in Dubai. Then I wanted a red pill hustle bro Jesus. Not me, but you never know, maybe people will click on that more. Then ads that are a little suggestive tend to do very well. So I tried to get SEO Jesus and friends looking down at something, which is obviously the Link Building Bible, nothing else. I have a feeling that's going to get a lot of clicks. And then finally, just some lifestyle imagery, because again, Facebook's a social network. Even with ads, you don't really want your ad to look like an ad. So if you can stop the scroll with just an interesting photograph of people having fun, come in with your actual offer, then that can be more successful. And now I'm moving on to memes as well. It didn't get the text right in this one. But very simple, set up my ads, make sure all the ad copy is good, lots of text variations as well, and then duplicate, new image, duplicate, new image. Now hopefully you can see this is truly revolutionary. In not very long, everyone's going to be doing this, and what we're going to see is a greater and greater divide, because the vast majority of people have never run a Facebook ad. They don't know how to do Facebook ads. But now the people who do Facebook ads are going to be able to do it so much faster, more effectively, that the gap is just going to grow and grow. So don't get left behind, jump on the bandwagon now to stay relevant and stay ahead. When I was first testing out this process just the other day, my little beta test was the 30-minute infopreneur. So I created a detailed guide based on my transcripts, then turned that into a really nice landing page, and this is absolutely free. So sign up via the link below. I'm not telling you this is the best book in the world. So far, it's based on my previous learnings rather than my new learnings. But the point is, if you are on this list, then I'm going to keep you up to date with everything I find in this new experiment. So don't miss out. Click the link below, sign up, get the book, and I will update that book as we go.